So call to order the HVAC IAQ meeting for April 11th, 2025. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the February 28, 2025 meeting minutes. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Not for me.
Nor I. All right, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I'll make a second motion to approve the minutes from March 14th, 2025 as presented. Can I get a second?
I will second.
Any discussion on the March 14th?
No.
Nor I. Fine. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes pass. Thank you. All right. Updates. Osborne Hill. Anything worthy of note?
I have, but I'll let Tim go first.
Yeah, so
You're on mute? Okay.
updates. Yeah, no, sorry. Updates as far as interior of the building, we're moving along. Ductwork is up. Insulation is pretty much wrapped up. We've been working on the new electrical room. We started excavation yesterday, or actually Wednesday, sorry, for the secondaries. So we started making good progress on that the past couple days. We are not working today just due to the weather and the rain, but we're going to resume early next week and keep moving on that front. Switch gears for all three schools have been delivered to Ferguson, their warehouse in Plainville, Connecticut. So we did send up Michael, our one of our project engineers, on Tuesday afternoon. He went up there, he got some photos, he checked on everything. Of course, it was all still cellophane wrapped and all that. So it wasn't a true first delivery inspection, which we will perform when it gets to site, but we did verify that the components are there. They're, safely kept right now in the facility, and we'll be scheduling those to get out as soon as we wrap up the electrical room work. This is across all three schools. And then North Stratfield, we are moving along well inside as well. We have ductwork finishing up interior. We haven't started installation there just yet as we're wrapping up at Osborne, but we will transfer that crew over in the coming week or so. Fairfield Woods is also moving along. We started working on the lowest level, which is where our field office is. So we currently are ripping the ceiling out of there, as well as getting any hangers and components in our field office and a couple other rooms down on that lower level with us. We have been doing steel work, and we are basically getting ready. We're prepping and getting ready for April break, which we are expecting to lift 4 of the DOAS units onto the school for Fairfield Woods. And one smaller unit, we're also looking to get a DOAS unit on Osborne Hill as well, DOAS 2. That'll be, if you're standing out front of the building, it'll be on the right side of the building if you're looking at the school from the front parking lot. And we're gearing up to do a bunch of other roof related work, since we'll have, the school be vacant and we can do a lot more patching and work on top. So we have that plan set for next week. Weather looks good. So I think we'll be in good shape.
Excellent.
Okay, the items I had, I just have 3 items. We have the customer balancer from the Van Zelm approval letter in for approval today. This is across all 3 schools. The customer balancer is under the commissioning control, so that is why it's coming from Van Zelm. For the last meeting, we had a proposal in from ChimeNet to relocate the fiber at Woods. This was done, kind of needed to schedule that, so I asked the chair to approve it and get that going so that can get on the schedule. It was approved, so it's included on the invoice packet, but it is not a it has already been approved. So, but it's on the invoice packet as a FYI. And then lastly, I met with Tim last week regarding the summer 25, and what needed to be done with just the end of August push, beginning of summer push. We do need to get the movers back to move the book room in the lower level so they can install ductwork and all that. So I will be arranging that. And we talked about some of the other areas that we may need the movers, particularly in the main office, just to get the admins out of the way to do the flooring and all that in the main office. So that is all I had on phase one.
Thank you, Mark. Rodney, any questions on your side?
None for me, thanks.
Right. Any updates on Fitz? We can go back to old business, I guess, with the Fitz house. No updates. Project updates on Tomlinson?
Well, go back. What I was going to answer. Fitz.
Go back to Fitz.
Sure. We can do.
I'll go back to Fitz.
I had it in old business. That's fine. We got.
Yeah, we're basically out of the heating season, so the issues that we're having during the winter, they were trying something. They're going to revise the logic again, but we're not going to know till
Next winter.
another 10 months. Yeah. So, but yeah, that is on hold for right now. Then.
Yeah, even with the 40s, it doesn't. It's not.
Well,
not
yeah, no,
required.
it's much like a roof doesn't leak in sunny weather. We have no heat demand.
It's fixed.
We're not tripping the freeze stat. So, yeah.
Okay, so you're all right. Okay.
Yeah,
And
we ran out of winter for testing. The next tweak. We'll get like it's a big manufacturer. We won't accept it until it's corrected. Unfortunately, for that contractor, because they own the train, getting trained to get it quite right. Like Mark said, we're not going to be able to test the correction for 10 months, and oh well. But we'll get there.
Okay.
No retainage has been released, so we still have the stick.
Okay. All right. On to Tomlinson.
All right, Tomlinson, we had the estimate reconciliation this past week. We are looking good. I sent it over last night, and I'm not sure if either one of you saw it. It was a little bit late. We're about 2% over, which equates to about $88,000 over. 75,000 of that is a tariff contingency that we implemented. So we're at about 2% over, which is within the range. I mean, it's within the range that comfortable sending it out to bid.
Yeah, Rodney, we had a discussion around how much to put in the contingency for tariffs. There's a lot of products that's potentially affected by the tariffs, even the ductwork with the aluminum. So thought was to give us a little cushion on that and hope for the best.
Yeah. Hope for the best.
Okay. Any questions or further discussion on Tomlinson?
No.
I got one more thing on. And then I've got the hazmat proposal for Woodard and Kern for the evaluation of Tomlinson, basically the interior and exterior vertical, for them to go out and do the sampling and make sure that when we start taking Tomlinson apart to run ductwork and all that, that we're not running into any hazardous materials. I say exterior vertical because the horizontal was done under the roof project. So I also have that proposal in front of you guys, hopefully for approval today.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that either, Mark.
Okay.
And I was prepping early, so I would have.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can look that in the background. Anything else on Tomlinson?
Nope, that is it.
All right. All right. On to everybody's favorite topics. Where did my ATP list go? ATPs. All right, so moving on to ATPs.
All right.
Hey,
I
Mark.
sent the cover over.
Wait a minute, we have a
Sent the
question.
cover over.
Jesse,
last
did you have
night.
hold on, did Jesse have a comment? It sounded like Jesse's voice.
Yeah, this could have waited till after, Mark, but do we cancel with not having the
No,
proposal there?
not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Sorry, I don't understand the exact sequence of everything here, so.
Okay. ATP number 006 for Fairfield Woods, above ceiling CMU drywall top of wall continuation.
This is a allowance, so this is an estimate. This is just an authorization to proceed if they need to do any of this work based on building official comments during inspections.
So this is in the budget as an allowance.
Yes.
These have come up before. Did we approve it for the other schools, but not this one?
Yeah, good point.
I'm having deja vu
I-
with this ATP.
Yes.
We've done,
We've had
a
the
couple.
elementary schools.
Yeah, and there's an OA for this, and there's a OA in the trade or in the trade contract for these two similar types. So it's probably why there's a little confusion here.
Okay.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept ATP 006 above ceiling CMU drywall top of wall continuation. The source is an allowance. It's an estimate of $25,000.
I will second the motion. Any discussion?
None.
Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 006. There'll be no motion necessary for the next one. That's informational only. Mark, you want to just go over? That's a credit, yeah?
Well, it's a credit for running the electrical lines across the roof versus running them in the tunnels, or running them in the tunnels in lieu of running them over the roof. This is just for the roof penetrations from the roofer. It's a credit of $3,453.
Okay.
This is an FYI only, or do we have to act on it?
You should act on it. It is an ATP.
Okay. I'll make a motion to accept ATP 039 for Fairfield Woods roof penetration reduction. Source is contingency. The reduction is $3,453.00.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion?
None.
Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay.
Okay, we can kind of group this next one with the other two. You saw this 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. The ATPs were we'll call authorized with with a contingent upon Gilbane taking some of them in house. This is an in scope, so this is coming out of Gilbane's contingency, and they also took Osborne Hill. I was going to say Orchard Hill. Osborne Hill in scope as well out of their contingency. This is greater than 5,000, and per contract we need approval on it. And then North Stratfield is a contingency draw.
Right. Okay. What's that, Mark? We got more.
So 2 out of 3 Gilbane took in scope.
Yep. So I'll make a motion to accept APT 040 security vestibule door hardware for Fairfield Woods, which is an estimate in the amount of $27,981.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve ATP number 041 FW05A-1 roof opening joist reinforcing and decal patching, which is an allowance. It's an estimated amount of $10,000.
I'll second.
Supposed to be duct patching. Sorry.
Deck patching. Okay, there we go. You want to elaborate on this?
This is also an allowance. This is a Gilbane trade allowance they have with the steel guy, and this is for anything they need to do for the decking, reinforcing and reinforcing the joists at the roof openings.
Any questions, Rodney?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, make the next motion for ATP 028 for North Stratfield, security vestibule door hardware coming out of contingency. This is an estimated amount of $28,620.
Second.
Thank you. All right, we've covered this one, I think. Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Welcome to WebEx. Enter your access code or
Enter that code, Sal.
Okay.
All right. ATP 030 for North Stratfield, Bulletin 03 exposed ductwork. This is contingency in the estimated amount of $89,446. Can I get a second on the motion?
Yeah, I'll second, but I need an explanation on this.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, elaborate, please.
Jesse, do you want to take it?
Oh, this is that. Okay. I get this.
Sure.
Yep.
There's 2 pieces in this. One is the request by Fairfield Public Schools to paint all the ceilings and ductwork and everything in the exposed spaces. And the second was to change single wall ductwork to double wall ductwork, which was missed on our drawings. And I should explain that a little further. A lot of engineers will not require insulated duct inside the spaces that the duct serves. But I think our recommendation is to include it, and we try to include that on all our designs. You know, prevents any possibility of condensation dripping in the space, which really shouldn't happen. But, you know, it's the way we design everything. I think it's the right thing to recommend, even though we did miss it and it kind of looks bad for us.
Yeah, it looks bad as in the tune of almost $90,000.
That piece, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, it's somewhere in the 70 to 75 range. The rest is,
Okay,
well,
all right, fine. $75,000. That's a big miss. Along
Yes.
with all the other misses.
this is, as far as I know, this is the first miss on mechanical HVAC, and this is a primarily HVAC project. So mechanical scope is $18 million, and this is the first real miss that I know of. So on a percentage basis, it's very small. I know the timing's bad with everything else that we've been talking about recently, but I think our mechanical and MEP drawings have been quite tight on this project, and that's what, like I said, a lot of engineers would not have even presented this. They just would have let it be installed without it. I just think it's the best thing for Fairfield to recommend it.
Anybody have a strong position against the idea of the double wall? Anything else, Rodney, from your side on this one?
Yeah, no, sorry. I'm good.
Sorry, Zach, you're
I'm sorry.
okay. So, all in favor? Approving
Yes,
the
me.
motion?
Yeah, aye.
Aye. Okay.
Unbelievable.
All right. Moving on to 033 ATP 033 for North Stratfield. This is the NS 05A-1. This is the roof opening, joist reinforcing, and deck painting. There's an allowance, an estimated amount of $10,000 for North Stratfield. I'm going to combine it with the ATP 020, which is for Osborne Hill, the same roof opening, joist reinforcing, and deck painting allowance estimated at $10,000 for a total of $20,000 for those two ATPs.
I'll second.
Any further discussion on this one? Covered this with
No.
bullets.
Just to clarify, it's deck patching,
Deck patching, deck painting.
not
Okay.
deck
Very good.
painting.
All right. I'm reading it out loud. Okay. So not
No, I know.
not decal patching or deck painting. Okay.
Yeah, this one's kicking my butt today.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Moving on to North Stratfield roof, ATP 002, NS-07A-2 roof patching. It's an allowance, an estimated amount of $30,000.
Second.
Elaborate, please, Mark.
Tim, do you want to take this one? This was a owner allowance with Gilbane, or this is actually a Gilbane sub allowance for any patching that needs as a rip and replace the roof at North Stratfield. If any deck is needed to be replaced because it's rusted out or beyond repair.
I mean, next week, guys, we're planning on ripping more of the North Stratfield roof. So we just wanted to open this allowance in case we encumber anything that needs to be remedied. So now that we're getting back into the roofing, we just want to have this open. That's really it at the moment. And we have some other work that we're gonna be doing on the roof that might require additional unforeseen patching. So we just want to have this ready to go.
And this is a line item in the budget, right, Mark?
It is within the GMP, yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Is the area of roof that's going to be worked on also area of roof that's going to have units put on it?
No, the area, the roof at North Stratford we're going to work on this week coming up is over the APR, Jeff. So we're targeting that zone.
All right. Okay, any other further discussion?
None.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good. All right. And I did not, so the last ATP, well, second to last, we have for Osborne Hill, 019, security vestibule door hardware in scope
Didn't we do that
ATP
one?
estimated, no, we talked about
Okay,
it.
yep.
Vote for it. Estimated amount of $22,962.
Second,
Any further discussion?
not for me.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we covered the roof openings for Osborne, and Mark mentioned the ChimeNet fiber optic relocation at Woods, which was approved for contingency of 1620. All right. Moving out of ATPs onto invoices.
All right.
Well,
Mhm.
along with the ATPs, do we want to vote on the tab?
On
And
the what?
testing and balancing from Van Zone.
Air testing.
Yeah, this was sent over. Has been in the file. When the heck did I send it over? I believe I sent it over. I believe over on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I mean, we can the test and balancer we won't need till August, so that can be, we can push it for 2 weeks.
If it's in that big file, generally I don't, unless I have a question, I'll go into it, but it's just a whole
Too
bunch
much
of information. So if you need something approved, send it separately,
Okay.
please.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to defer that to next meeting, Mike, Mark.
Yep.
So we're good there. Okay.
Yep. We'll defer. And then
All right.
the only other one is,
We got more.
well, if we want to take a look at Woodward and Kern for the the hazmat survey at Tomlinson.
Again,
I
I
did
haven't
compare
seen
it
it.
to. Okay.
Have you seen it, Mark, Jeff?
No.
Oh.
You sent it over, Mark, you think? Or is it just in the big packet?
Yes. No, I sent it over separately last night. Yeah, that's why.
At 9:26.
Yes.
I don't know.
This is Woodward and Kern is the well, we use them for phase one. They are the environmental engineer for Fairfield Public Schools. They're the preferred vendor for them. And the proposal is in line with Fairfield Woods.
Seen there. Oh, that's not it. Oh, I see what you did, Mark. You have it in a thread that has other files in it. That's what the issue is.
I keep.
All right. Yeah, so that's why I missed it. I had it as, I think I saved the CD estimate and moved on.
So the fixed fee of 44,900, if I'm reading that right.
Yes, that's right, Rod.
And the breakdown is on
Yeah, so
page 8.
That's the breakdown, and then there's a 10% added for being a sub-consultant to BO.
where's the 10% added?
It's the total here, if you add these up, is, I forgot the exact number, it's 40,000 and change. And then 10% on top of that equals the 44.9, it's up higher.
I don't know. What do you think, Jeff?
I'm okay proceeding, Rod.
Pardon me?
I'm okay proceeding.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to accept Woodward and Kern's proposal. Yes, number 21 for Tomlinson Middle School hazardous materials surveys for the fixed sum of $44,900.
990. $44,990.
Oh, and $90. Sorry. Yeah.
Second the motion. Any further discussion?
None.
Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so that's an ATP. So we're back to invoices.
Yep.
It's my Excel here.
I'll make a motion to accept Gilbane's invoices for Osborne, North Stratfield, and Woods. Invoice number 012 dated 3/31/2025 for the total amount of $1,151,191.19.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion?
None.
Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sure.
Cherry Hill, I'll make a motion to accept or approve Cherry Hill's 3 invoices, one for Osborne, one for North Stratfield, one for Woods Middle School. Their invoice number is 01 dated 3/31/2025 for the total amount of $159,177.86.
Second the motion. Any discussion?
Nothing.
Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to accept Collier's invoice 1041041 dated 4/4/2025 in the amount of $14,712.70.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion other than a lot of ones and fours in that one?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good.
And finally, BL Companies.
I broke it out
Invoices.
into two. I had the Tomlinson separated out, but either way.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, well, okay.
You can group it. I'll try. I can do the math quick.
So Tomlinson, Osborne Vestibule, North Stratfield Vestibule, Woods and Woods Vestibule, and I'm not going to read all those numbers, dated 3/28/2025 for the total amount of $46,434.32.
Second the motion. Any discussion on the BL?
None.
Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Done with invoices. Thank you, Rodney.
Well, we do
Well-
have the one invoice packet from 3/28.
Going back in time.
Yep.
I don't have that one in front of me.
He's displaying it, but I didn't.
Oh, it's
It's a small first vid.
Van Zelm is the commissioning agent. They are at 35%.
oh, so it's just their invoice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Make a motion to accept Van Zelm's invoice number 53219, dated 3/14/2025, in the amount of $2,415.58.
Second the motion. Discussion.
None.
Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. You good, Mark?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Old business. We talked about tab already. I'm just gonna.
Jeff, sorry, I might have missed that. Just for tab, what are we doing again, Mark, with wings?
Tabled.
Tabled.
For the
So
next
we had a
meeting.
meeting next week scheduled with Van Zelm. Should we just
Still
postpone
have it.
that and hold
Well,
off?
we'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
We'll
Okay.
Tim,
we'll
don't
talk
worry
about
about
it
it. Keep
Okay.
moving forward. Yeah. it's
All right.
not- Yeah, don't hold up that stuff. It's
Okay.
Agreed. I had a note on coordination. Tomlinson, just want to make sure Rodney, Sal, there's no issues. Everything's going well. We're clear on that. Committee's clear on what's going on, and everything's a happy place.
Yep.
We'll deal with the fighting later about who's paying for what. All right.
I'll have to recuse myself from that discussion.
You're talking out both sides of your mouth. That's all.
Oh.
Make a motion for Sal to pay for everything, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. We talked about Fitz House. So the next item in old business is the ceiling tiles, everyone's favorite topic. I know the pictures were sent, I guess drawings, whatever we want to say, handwritten notes on what was identified as punch list items or sagging. So the next step along that path was to get a counts, percentage or actual tile counts for each of the different areas. So we had an appreciation for what we were looking at. I haven't seen that yet. That was going to come from BL, I believe.
Yeah. Justin and I spoke. There is no count as of yet. The plans went to Gilbane as the punch list. We still have to at least quantify in some respect the amount sagging. I don't know. I don't know
Mark,
if there has been a count of what's on the punch list versus.
Mark, I think the punch list that was published was color coded. I don't know, Tim, if you have that reflected ceiling plan that shows each tile, which one is sagging, which one is damaged, and they are color coded. So was part of the package of that.
I did see that, but that doesn't. Someone needs to give a count of. Right, we were talking about for a particular area to identify what's the proportionality of tiles, right? I mean, if it's 90% of a room, I'm making up numbers here, everyone, just for hyperbole, just to make my point. If 90% of it is being addressed by punch lists, then to the other 10% is a no-brainer from how we move forward, right? If it's 2%, then we have a bigger conversation around what we're going to do. So I was I was really hoping to have an appreciation for how much of it was punch list, how much of it is sagging, with the expectation that that's still something I'll say we here at BL's looking to work with Armstrong on, right, to get clarity around that. And then that would give us more clarity around what is our exposure for good tiles, but of the wrong style, and what we want to do around there to try to mitigate that $335,000 exposure point.
Got it. Tim, when Jerry priced the ceiling repairs, did he separate his cost, sagging versus damaged, or did he put it all in one?
He just did it. It was like a lump sum per school.
Okay, then we can do it two different ways, Jeff. We can do it in account, which is a little bit harder to do, or I could separate the cost, sagging versus damaged. Does that help a little bit better? Account they're big areas, and you send somebody to. I mean, we can count them, I guess, maybe on BL. Is it easy to count them on BL's drawings, Tim? Sagging versus
Kind of.
damaged?
These drawings they're not. Yeah, kind of. There are a lot of handwritten notes and stuff on them, so we'd have to just kind of just review it. Maybe we take our first final review and then just get with Luana.
All right,
make sure we're reading the notes
give us
right.
a chance. If that's the information, so let's say there's a 5,000. I'm just throwing numbers. You want to know of that 5,000, how many are sagging and how many are damaged? Is that what you're looking for in terms of ceiling counts?
Yeah, and ideally, I think it might even be important to do by if there's a significant amount in a particular area, right? That was because if we're talking about doing wholesale replacing with the fissure, the other style. The question is if the decision is not to replace everything, then where is it reasonable or appropriate to replace? And again, if we're already replacing 90% of a classroom, for example,
Sure.
to replace that other 10% that makes sense to me, right? I don't think there's gonna be a lot of debate about that. That would make perfect sense to replace the entire ceiling.
Sure.
If it's reversed, if we're only talking 10% and we're talking about 90%, which would be a replacement simply for style or the standard that was picked, then that's a different conversation, and we got to figure out what makes sense there. And I don't have an appreciation for what the punch list. How much does that reduce our cost from that high watermark?
The dollars we have, I don't have them broken down by damaged versus sagging the way you're looking to resort it. So my suggestion is this. Is it possible to set up a work session with you and Rodney maybe next week? Because the next meeting is not until the 25th, I think.
I made that offer already, Amar. So I'm more than willing to do an hour or two to walk through those and try to figure out a percentage or whatever we need to do to get comfortable with the where things stand.
Absolutely, yes. So let's set something up for next week, midweek. I don't know what your schedules are like. Maybe Thursday we can do something Thursday afternoon if that works.
Give me a second.
We could have a work session the 17th.
Thursdays are tough.
You want to do Friday, the 18th? That's Good Friday, I think.
That's Good Friday.
Yeah, that is Good Friday.
Yeah, so how about Wednesday I'm completely booked. Well, I can do Tuesday, but let's target Tuesday afternoon if that's okay with you guys at 4:00. Is that all right?
No. At 4:00?
Do you want to go late you want to go late? I don't know.
4:00 would work.
Oh.
Yeah, I have jury duty, maybe, but I should be out by 4:00 regardless.
Yeah, I was going to say that's typically in the morning. All right, so let's target. We'll send out an invite for 4:00 on Tuesday, and it's a Teams meeting. It's probably best to do, and we'll present the plans. We'll go through a work session. We'll present the numbers, discuss the topic. And Jesse, I don't know. You probably, I don't know if you're available or not as well. I'm assuming you guys are good in Teams meeting, or do you want it to be in person? What's your preference?
either way for me.
Yeah, I'm indifferent.
Okay. All right. So we'll set up an invite for 4 o'clock. I don't know, Mark, if you want to set it up for 4 o'clock on
Yep.
the 15th. Okay. And then we can go through, give us the chance to kind of clean up. We'll come up with a count. May not be super precise, Jeff, the count, but it'll give you an idea.
Now, Jeff, do we have to announce this as a special meeting?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We look into that.
Are you,
I think if you have quorum, you will need to.
Yeah.
even if there's no decisions to be or actions to be taken, it's just
Yeah.
more of an informational meeting, you have to, oh, okay.
I believe so, yeah. I mean, I don't know, I'm not 100% on the rule, but I think we have to call a special meeting.
Yeah.
Because we do have a quorum.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's not a big deal. We just have to give the town clerk
Yeah.
24 hours notice. So just get that invite on the calendar, and then we'll
And
Mark or I can let Betsy know or her office know, and go from there.
awesome. Yeah, let's do that. I want you guys to get comfortable with the topic, with the issues and everything else. So I think a work session is warranted. Perfect.
Yeah, it's a critical path item because the financial
Absolutely.
exposure is going to affect all of our other the ATPs of the future. We'll call it that. Okay.
Sounds good.
Rodney, the FSRs were distributed. I don't know if you had any questions or comments you wanted to bring up on that. I don't think there's significant changes.
I took a look at them briefly, and I don't right now.
Okay, just want to give you an opportunity to have that conversation. Never
Appreciate
too late on that. Okay, that was all I have. Any other new business?
None for me.
Okay, all right. Hearing none, I will make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.